Imagine getting the exact salary you've been dreaming about for years. Not a small raise, not an extra few $1,000s. I'm talking about finally making six figures, the kind of income that once felt impossible. Now here's the strange part. A few months later, you don't feel happier. In fact, many people become more stressed, more anxious, and somehow less satisfied with life after making significantly more money. And the worst part? Most people don't realize it's happening until they're trapped in a cycle they don't know how to escape. So, if money is supposed to solve our problems, why do so many high earners secretly feel miserable? The answer is far darker and far more important than most people realize. From the moment we're young, we're sold a simple equation. More money equals more happiness. Work harder, earn more, upgrade your life, then everything will be okay. And honestly, there is some truth to it. If you're struggling to pay rent, worried about groceries, or choosing between bills, more money absolutely improves life. It reduces stress, creates options, provides security. But something strange happens once those basic needs are covered. The happiness curve begins to flatten. Yet most people never hear about that part. Instead, they keep chasing and chasing and chasing because they believe the next paycheck will finally unlock happiness. But one man discovered the truth the hard way, and his story reveals a psychological trap millions are falling into right now. A successful corporate lawyer once shared a story that shocked psychologists. At 25 years old, he told himself, "When I make $100,000 a year, I'll be happy." Years later, he achieved it. For a few weeks, he felt incredible. Then something happened. The excitement disappeared. Suddenly, his new goal became $250,000, then $500,000, then $1 million. Every milestone felt amazing for a moment, then normal. And that's when he realized something terrifying. The finish line kept moving. No matter how much money he made, his brain immediately adjusted. The lifestyle became normal. The achievement became expected. And happiness returned to where it started. Psychologists have a name for this. And once you understand it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. It's called hedonic adaptation, or what many people call the happiness treadmill. Here's how it works. You get a raise. You feel great. Then your brain adapts. You buy a nicer car. You feel great. Then your brain adapts. You move into a bigger house. You feel great. Then your brain adapts. The human brain is designed to normalize improvements. What once felt extraordinary eventually becomes ordinary. And that's exactly why so many high-income earners feel trapped. Because every financial victory creates a new baseline. And once that baseline becomes normal, the chase begins again. But that's only half the problem. The next trap is even more dangerous, because it turns success into suffering. Imagine earning $150,000 a year. Sounds amazing, right? Now imagine everyone around you earns $500,000. Suddenly, your success feels small. Nothing changed about your income. Nothing changed about your life. Yet your happiness drops. Why? Because humans rarely judge success objectively. We judge it relatively. We compare. Constantly. Today, social media has turned comparison into a full-time job. You open your phone. Someone bought a mansion. Someone bought a Ferrari. Someone retired at 35. Someone claims they made $100,000 this month. And suddenly your own progress feels insignificant, even when you're doing incredibly well. This is one of the biggest financial traps in modern history, because comparison creates a game that nobody can win. There will always be someone richer, someone younger, someone more successful, someone further ahead. And if your happiness depends on beating everyone else, you guarantee your own misery. But there's another reason high earners often become unhappy. And it has nothing to do with money itself. It has everything to do with what they sacrifice to get it. Many people focus on the money they earn. Few focus on the price they pay. Long work hours, chronic stress, missed family moments, neglected friendships, poor health, lack of sleep, burnout. Imagine making $500,000 a year, but never having time to enjoy your life. What's the point? Many high earners accidentally build lifestyles that look successful from the outside, while feeling empty on the inside, because money can buy comfort, but it can't buy time back. It can't repair neglected relationships. It can't replace years of poor health. And it can't create meaning, which leads us to the biggest misconception about wealth, the one that keeps millions trapped for decades. Money is incredibly powerful, but not for the reasons most people think. Money doesn't directly create happiness. Money creates freedom. Freedom to choose. Freedom to say no. Freedom to spend time where it matters. Freedom to remove unnecessary stress. The happiest, wealthy people aren't always the richest. They're often the people who use money to gain control over their lives, while others use money to buy bigger obligations, bigger houses, bigger payments, bigger lifestyles, bigger stress. One group buys freedom, the other buys pressure, and that difference changes everything. But there's still one final piece of the puzzle, and it's the lesson most billionaires eventually learn. Researchers have spent decades studying happiness, and one finding appears over and over again. Strong relationships matter more than almost anything else. Not luxury cars, not designer watches, not bigger salaries. Relationships, purpose, health, community, meaning. The irony is painful. Many people sacrifice these things while chasing money, only to spend years trying to get them back later. The truth is that wealth and happiness aren't enemies, but they're not the same thing either. Money is a tool, an incredibly powerful tool, but a tool nonetheless. A hammer can build a house, or destroy one. Money works the same way. The outcome depends on how it's used. So, why are people making more money often unhappier? Because they expect money to solve problems it was never designed to solve. Money can provide security, but not purpose. Money can buy comfort, but not fulfillment. Money can create opportunities, but not meaningful relationships. And once basic needs are met, the game changes. The goal is no longer earning more. The goal becomes living better. That's the lesson most people discover too late. The happiest people aren't necessarily those with the biggest bank accounts. They're often the people who understand exactly what money is for and what it isn't. Because at the end of the day, the richest person in the room isn't always the one with the most money. It's the person who no longer needs more to feel complete. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more real-world money psychology, wealth lessons, and financial stories that most people never hear until it's too late. And remember, don't just chase money. Build a life worth spending it on. This is MintLore, where money meets wisdom. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next story.